There is a moving proverb, cricket is a gentleman's game. But the revelations that are happening in English cricket these days cannot be put in the category of a gentleman. The reason, Azeem Rafiq. Born in Karachi, Pakistan. Later the family moved to England. Rafiq was fond of playing cricket. He planned to make a career in this game. He had also prepared the way to his success. He joined Yorkshire Cricket Club during his school days. Then he was also the captain of England's under-15 and later under-19 World Cup team. Players like Joe Root, Ben Stokes and Joseph Butler have played under his captaincy. In 2007, the England team's bowling coach David Parsons even said that Rafiq is the future of English cricket. He will create a sensation one day. 14 years have passed since this. Rafiq is once again at the center of discussion. He has shocked the cricket world. Not because of his game, but because of his backbone. Azeem Rafiq has chosen the path of fighting against the racism prevalent in English cricket. After his revelations, there has been an uproar in the entire cricketing world. On 16th of November, Rafiq made his point before the parliamentary committee. What did he tell before the committee? What will happen next after his revelations? Learn more about the big stories of racism in cricket history. First, a matter of history. It is the story of the year 1959. Basil de Oliveira, 28, lost hope. He started feeling that his cricket career would never progress. Oliveira was born in Cape Town, South Africa. The color of his skin was not white. At that time the policy of apartheid was in force in South Africa. Only white players were given a place in the country's sports team. The same rule was there in cricket as well. Oliveira had created panic in club cricket. He used to bat very fast. He also used to take out wickets when needed. It is said that at that time there was no better black cricketer than him. If he had white skin, he could have played for South Africa long ago. Apartheid had ruined the best moments of his life. Oliveira didn't want to wait any longer. He decided to move on in life. He did two things before he changed course. First, he married a childhood friend. And second, sent a letter to the English County Club Lancashire. After doing this, he started working in a printing firm. After a few months, a letter came to him from England. By then Oliveira had already taken care of cricket. When he read the letter, his astonishment knew no bounds. Middleton Cricket Club had offered to include him in the team. West Indies Wes Hall withdrew his name on the last occasion. Oliveira did not even have money for the flight. Then the whole locality donated for him. And finally, Basil de Oliveira left for England. The first year at County Cricket Club was good. His contract was extended for 2 years. Oliveira was waiting for the occasion. He earned a lot of fame due to his game. He also got its fruit. In May 1966, Oliveira got a place in the national team of England. By that time he had taken British citizenship. The most important phase of his life came, in the year 1968. The England team was to go on a tour of South Africa. Oliveira deserved a place in this team. The Ashes were played just before the tour of South Africa. Despite being in form, Oliveira was left out of the team. Somehow he got his place in the last match. He scored 158 runs in the first innings. Thanks to this, England won the match and the series ended in a draw. After this innings, Oliveira's place was believed to be confirmed. At that time, the Marylebone Cricket Club, MCC, was the mother-father of English cricket. It was his job to choose the team. When MCC announced the South Africa team, Oliveira's name was not there. This was a big blow to Oliveira and her fans. It was something else to play against the team which reprimanded him on the basis of color. MCC shattered his dream. Actually, MCC did not want to spoil relations with South Africa by including black Oliveira in the team. Therefore, he gave tacit acceptance to the policy of apartheid. There was fierce opposition to this decision. The media and the government together rebuked the MCC. So many letters of support came to Oliveira's address that the post office had to set up separate people. MCC now had to find a way out. They soon found their way. At the same time, Tim Cartwright was injured. A bowler was needed in his place. Oliveira was the batting all-rounder. Despite this, he was included in the team. When the government of South Africa came to know about this, it got angry. He said that Oliveira would not be allowed to play under any circumstances. As a result, MCC had to cancel the tour with a stone on its heart. In 1970, the South African team was to come to England. The MCC was adamant that the matches would continue. But before that there were fierce protests. The pitch started being ruined. The commentators would start threatening to boycott the tour. Then the British government also joined this protest. Many countries, including India, said that if the South Africa tour takes place, they will not participate in the 1970 Commonwealth Games. Eventually, the organizers had to put the series on hold a week ago. After that, the Cricket Council also imposed a temporary ban on South Africa. After this episode, the rest of the teams also decided to boycott South Africa. He had already been pulled out of the Olympics and the FIFA World Cup. The boycott of South Africa in cricket lasted till 1991. The policy of apartheid was abolished that year. After the boycott ended, South Africa came to India on the first tour. Prior to this, it had played international cricket only with England, Australia, and New Zealand. There are two reasons behind telling this story. First, discrimination based on color or race has not ended even in the 21st century. Only his gait and character have changed. The purpose is the same. Proving anyone to be second class by means of his or her identity. And second, the virus of racism is still hollowing out the game of cricket. And it is still not taken seriously. Azeem Rafiq is the latest example of both these facts. What Rafiq experienced while playing with the Yorkshire Club is beyond imagination. He was with the club from 2008 to 2018. However, despite his good performance, his contract was not renewed. Then came September 2020. Rafiq gave an interview to ESPN. In this, he accused the Yorkshire Club. He said that he thought of suicide several times due to his racist behavior. After this, he spoke to Sky Sports. In this conversation, he kept everything open. Rafiq told how he was kept isolated from the rest. The white players of the team were prevented from talking to them. Rafiq, Rana Naveed Ul Hassan, Adil Rashid, Ajmal Shahzad were repeatedly addressed as Paki. Rafiq also told that many times it happened that after training, he used to cry while sitting on the balcony. The allegations were serious. The demand for action arose. In October 2020, Yorkshire set up an investigation. The report of the committee did not come for a long time. Then in August 2021, the club apologized to Rafiq. However, he refused to accept the point of institutional racism. The club also said that there were many allegations that could not be confirmed. Part of the report was published in September. In this too the same old thing was repeated. The club also refused to bring out the full report. The club insisted that no action would be taken against any player or official. On this, Rafiq said that he will not back down so easily. The Yorkshire Club is promoting racism by doing so. Meanwhile, the demand to release the full report continued. The club kept refusing. Then on November 3, the report was leaked. The leaks showed that the allegations of racism were true. After this, there was bound to be a ruckus in English cricket. There was a demand for strict action from all sides. Britain's Health Minister Sajid Javid demanded the removal of those responsible. Prime Minister Boris Johnson ordered action from the ECB after completing the investigation as soon as possible. On 4 November, the ECB barred Yorkshire from hosting international matches. Headingley is the home ground of Yorkshire. Next year there was to be an international ODI and a test. Now it will be played at some other venue. Until the club meets all the standards, this ban will continue. Club chairman Roger Hutton and CEO Mark Arthur have resigned amid the latest controversy. The club's bowling coach Andrew Gale has been sent on leave. Many sponsors have also pulled support from the club. Yorkshire has received another anonymous complaint. An Asian cricketer has filed his complaint on the condition of anonymity. He alleges that a Yorkshire teammate had urinated on his head. And, some senior players were also planning to ruin the prayer mat of a Muslim player. What's new in this matter? Azeem Rafiq was produced on 16th of November. In front of the Digital, Culture, Media and Sport Committee, DCMS. This is a select committee of the British Parliament. It consists of 11 MPs. Rafiq explained to the committee in detail the racism he faced. During this, he named 9 cricketers and team officials. This includes Michael Vaughn, Garry Ballance, Andrew Gale, Tim Bresnan, Martin Moxon, Alex Hales, Matthew Laggard, David Lloyd, and Joe Root. Vaughn is alleged to have threatened to see Asian players. Vaughn denies this. Meanwhile, BBC has thrown him out of its show. Rafiq alleges that the atmosphere in Yorkshire's dressing room was spoiled under the captaincy of Garry Ballance. Ballance repeatedly called Rafiq Paki. Ballance was the person who invented the word Kevin for black players. Alex Hales named his dog Kevin because he was black. Ballance has apologized for what he said and said that it was all said in jest. Rafiq has also accused other people of passing racist comments. He also told that Cheteshwar Pujara was deliberately called by the name Kevin. Yorkshire's white players used to make excuses that they had trouble getting Pujara's first name. Whereas the truth was that Kevin was used to make fun of Asian players. A day earlier, England's Test team captain Joe Root made a statement that he had never seen racism in Yorkshire. On this, Rafiq said that Joe Root is a good person. But this is sad. Root was Garry Ballance's housemate. I was called Paki many times in front of him. His statement proves how normal all this is. It doesn't matter to the Root, but this thing will always bother me. What will happen after Rafiq's statement? Roger Hutton and Mark Arthur will be questioned further. After this, the DCMS committee will prepare a report and give it to the government. In this, along with the results of the investigation, the way forward will also be suggested. The government will have 60 days to implement it. Experts believe that this will have a big impact on the image of Yorkshire. This will discourage players from playing for the club. It is hoped that this incident will encourage those who speak against institutional racism. There may be some more surprising revelations in the coming times. In his statement, Rafiq said, "I would never want my child to go around cricket too. I will keep my child away from this game. I will never leave him among these people. If there will be any change that is most important for cricket at this time, then it is to restore the gentleness of cricket. Will English cricket be able to move forward in this direction? It will be interesting to see this." The racism that happened with Azeem Rafiq is certainly heart-wrenching. However, this is not the only incident. Hear about some big events. Former India cricketer Farooq Engineer had told about the incident with him in an interview this year. He had told that due to being from India, he was seen with a strange eye. Racial remarks were made against him. People used to make fun of his speech. One example is the recently concluded T20 World Cup. South Africa's Quinton de Kock refused to kneel in support of Black Lives Matter. After that, he was dropped from the team. De Kock later apologized and adopted a take-anywhere posture. There are more incidents. For example, in the 80s, Colin Croft of the West Indies was thrown off the train for being black. Brian Lara's statement in Kenya's dressing room is a panic or the monkey gate episode. The list is long. We'll discuss this again in detail sometime.